All right, we went live right away. No, nothing.
Ooh,
look at this. All right, hey everybody,
perfect.
happy Thursday. I always have to look at the date. April 12th. Welcome to the TED Show. My guest today is Edgar Comellas.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say it the right Spanish way.
Right.
He was supposed to be on Tuesday's show, but as you guys know, I had some major issues on Tuesday, and he was kind enough to reschedule today. He is dressed so much better than me, and I love it. I hope you guys can see some of that. You guys
We're gonna bring
them.
the cufflinks. We have,
Look at those cufflinks.
and they swing around.
They're amazing.
Over here we have our sets.
And look at that bow tie. The bow tie, man. The best,
beautiful
of course. It's
classic
so
bow
awesome.
tie.
So I'm feeling a little underdressed today. Look, I've got the plain. Hey, Allie. I've got the plain jacket on. I mean, my shirt's kind of crazy, but nothing beats
Hi,
what
Allie.
Edgar has on. You know Allie too?
Of course I know
love
Allie.
Allie. Yesterday was her birthday.
I believe I wish her happy birthday.
Yeah,
on
happy
Facebook.
birthday.
Happy birthday,
we,
Friday.
we owe you drinks, Allie. All right, so thanks for coming on the show. I love the title of your show. It's Beards, Casinos, and Sacrifices.
Yes.
Take a gamble on, I forget what Take a Gamble was, but basically, I love the concept. And now that I see you in person outside of your pictures are very Dali-esque. It's what you remind me of, and some of the black and white ones especially. So welcome.
Well, thank you for having me.
I am
Ted.
so excited to have you on.
I am very excited to
cheers.
finally be on. Cheers, sir.
Cheers.
I'm enjoying a nice, beautiful bourbon.
See, other people date morning drink. It's not just me. So
5 o'clock somewhere.
give us a little background on you. Your bio was nice, short, and sweet, but you've got a lot of history. You do a lot of different things, and we want to know more.
So let's start off in the beginning. I moved there in '96 from Puerto Rico with my family, and I started working in the hospitality industry. I started getting into from Watermania, which is a defunct water park now. So some of you might know
I remember Watermania.
Yeah.
Hey, Ron.
I probably tried to save your life once. There was a lifeguard
Was
there.
there drinking there? I forgot.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
From there, I went to Universal Studios and then kept going, and I ended up at SeaWorld, where that's where my education went into. I studied marine sciences and environmental science, and I was gonna save the world and be a teacher and teach the youth, right?
Very cool.
That took after the Orlando Science Center. That took a backseat to me starting my own business, which is the casino company. Hence the cufflinks, right?
Yeah. How do you go from marine
Right.
science to going? All right, I want to work in the casino world,
I
because
wanna
that's
start
not
casino.
an easy world. Hey, Ida, how are you? And hey, Ron, I know a bunch
Who
of
else
people are
is
saying
up
hi.
there?
Lots of people are saying hi.
Hi to everybody.
Hey,
Hi,
Leslie.
hola.
Leslie, awesome job last night. We did a great presentation. Leslie organized it. It was amazing, called Disrupt HR. So
yes.
welcome on. It was awesome. So yeah, how do you go from working with sea life, marine life, to then getting into cards?
So
is it because there's all these sharks? Get it, people? Come on.
Get it. I will do it, but we can't touch
we
table.
can't. That's right. Oh, he remembered. No table talk.
So, dealing cards for one of my competitors, it's a very niche, very small industry, was my side job. When I worked at SeaWorld and your Science Center, I did that. I said, at night I will go and deal cards and, make an extra $100. So, one day I decided, I can do this. And through a friend of mine, I acquired some 3-5 tables, and that was 5 years ago.
Wait, so but how did you learn? Did you always play cards growing up? Like, I think I can play Old Maid, maybe. I'm not sure. Poker, I'm not so great at. I like the one where there's no guessing involved. It's the one where you get the cards and that's all you get.
Yeah.
So how did you go, though, from did you always have an interest as a kid? How did you learn how to deal? Like, where did the side deal even come from?
So I learned how to deal through, just playing blackjack, of course, or playing the game itself. And then a good friend of mine, Sean Spade, I'll give a shout out to Sean. Sean taught me how to deal craps, and that is the hardest game to know how to deal. It is kind of like this insane 280 kind of bets.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you've seen a craps table, imagine what the dealers have
Yes.
to wrangle all that, right? And that game kind of was the boot camp for all the other games. So from there, and I was always very good, and I like math, and I like science, and I like, complicated things. So I went ahead and, kind of started learning more of the games. And then I slowly got into the network of dealers. This is a subterranean dealer, network, kind of like catering staff. And yeah, I bring people in, I train them, I coach them. And at the end of the day, I tell people, anybody can deal cards. I can teach you how to deal cards in 30 minutes. But it's a personality.
That would be a Herculean task,
That's
my friend.
Next week on the TED Show, Terry learns how to deal blackjack.
Wow.
No, it's anybody can deal cards, but it takes a person with personality to actually make these table games, these casino nights work. Because the dealer is the face, the person. Sure. You're sitting with this person for 3 hours. That is a person that is going to be entertaining you while they're doing this task, which is, a repetitive task of dealing cards.
That's true. There's nothing worse. I'm not really a big gambler. That's mainly because I don't have a brain for science or math. But I'm fascinated by it. But there's nothing worse than sitting at a table or being at one of these events where there's a casino table and having a boring person or somebody who looks like they're so bored and counting down the seconds until they can get out of where they're at.
Of course, and that's then where our dealers have. I empower my dealers to have fun. Give mulligans. Who cares? It's not for money.
Right.
Hey, I missed deal. Let's redeal it again.
Right.
The dealer's too hot. There's times where the dealer's just always winning, and you know what? We're a fun casino. We're there for you and your guests to have a good time, have an experience, and not, get bogged down with the whole, oh my God, I'm losing my house, kind of Vegas feeling.
Yeah. No, it's not that, right?
No.
So when you come in, so you work mostly in the charity world, or people who want to have a good time. It could be private parties too, or private functions. But it's there for fun. It's there for entertainment. Do you get people that are super serious, even though they know that this is for entertainment purposes? I would imagine. There's so many competitive people out there.
Oh, no. We get very, very people. So, yes, it is all for fun, whether it's a fundraising aspect or just your 40th birthday, party at home. We get people that get very, very competitive. There is a psychological reaction to you playing cards. It's an endorphin rush. There's something that it triggers in your mind. And you become very invested in it. And if you already have that personality where you are very, driven to win, or you're the one that has to win, or you like the games, you get in it. Regardless if you're winning nothing or you're winning a $20 gift card to Starbucks. It doesn't matter.
Now, is it true that one person at the table can totally mess up the whole groove of the table? Like, so if the table's in a groove, a lot of my friends that play a lot, they say if somebody walks up to the table after the dealer and everybody there is in a groove, it can totally throw off the game, and they'll actually get up and go to another table.
I'm going to refer this question to some of you guys. All right. There we go. Chris, what are you talking about, Chris? I'll give a perfect example. You have your seat that you sit at and the jersey that you wear during football season when your team is playing, right? And if that doesn't happen, you don't feel right. The groove is off and they lost, and it was because of that.
Right.
That one guy in Minnesota didn't wear the Vikings shirt. That's why the whole team lost. There is a lot of superstition, but there is also, for example, in blackjack, the last person to make a call, makes a decision whether the dealer gets a card or not. So at times, you need to play safe, hoping that the dealer's going to bust, that you're going to give that extra bust card to the dealer. So it's kind of arranging and talking to everybody. And that's where this networking ability and the ice-breaking ability of the tables come in, where you're having 7, 8 different individuals with one specific goal, which is beat the dealer, right?
Beat the dealer.
And you start talking, you start making relationships, you start opening up. The loud guy is not the winner. The quiet girl is the one that's actually making all the money. So in real life, the tables don't discriminate. The tables make everybody, the same, and then that's what.
What's funny about, and there's a couple of comments, and I'll read them in just a second. But it's funny about a table when I have ever played, and it's usually a very simple game. But if there's one of the loud, obnoxious, competitive people, we all don't care. We just want the dealer to beat him, or her. It could be a her, but most of the time it's a him. And so sometimes we will play against that person and for the dealer, which is probably a terrible thing to do. All right, so Lana, hey Lana, how are you? She said Edgar hosted a casino-style event last year for Ruckus Cares. It was fantastic, and his team did a great job. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
That was a great event, a great 3-table event, and we partied until they kicked us out of the photography studio.
See, and then Ida says, I wouldn't know I'm an Uno card level player. I'm kind of
with you. I have a war table where it's just
Is it just war?
High card, no card. That's it. Simple as that. I have a work table if you want it.
I love that. So how do people book you? Do you have to, like, charities can say, I want 10 tables, Edgar, or a private event. Maybe somebody's having a private, some kind of private birthday or bachelor party, I guess, or bachelorette. Is that where you get your main business from? Our
main business, it comes through a website, of course, thetedshow.com.
And we'll share all of that.
We'll get all that. But it comes to the website, and it comes very vaguely. I want to have a casino night. And it is something where we guide you through what is it that you want. You know, are you having a fundraiser? Are you having a corporate event? Are you having a birthday party or a prom party, which I have one coming up here? And all they want is the element. They just have one table. That's all they want. You know, they don't want 20 tables. But we can talk to you. You see who your crowd is. If everybody a gambler or not everybody, or perhaps you don't even need casino tables. All you need is showgirls and some slot machines. Or you need one of our other partner services. So we guide you, we help you to see what is it that you want, so that you make, we're not trying to, what kind of upsell you make your money on. Right. At the end of the day, I want the idea of a casino night to be the drawing point, the selling point.
I love that. All right, so casino is one part of it, but I'm sure everybody's like, what about that beard and mustache, Edgar? Because that's also part of it. So let's talk about that, because there's events coming up. You obviously have this beautiful mustache that I hope you guys can see. I think you can see how nice that looks.
Oh, everybody can see it.
And that is not easy to keep trimmed and standing up like that. So tell us why. What's that all about?
You love it. Ida loves it. So about 3.5 years ago, I always had a short beard. I decided to, let it grow. Let it grow, let it grow. And I started curling the mustache. Just bored. I started messing with it, and I made a little curl out of it. And lo and behold, I liked it. And as I started going to networking events, people started recognizing me, the guy with the mustache, the guy with the beard, and I saw that it became a point of, for me to be recognized, to be different. You do get lost. If you're trying to be out there and make a difference, you do get lost in the world of everybody else.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, so and then it kept going and going and going to the point that this Saturday I'm in a Mr. Whisker competition.
I mean, come on. You can't make that
I know, right?
Mr. Whisker competition.
It's part of the Orlando Facial Hair Club. It's a charity for the One Heart Women and Children's Foundation.
Awesome.
It's down at the Orlando Brewing. Kay Rollins and Tom from Orlando Facial Hub are just some of the already announced judges. And there's all kinds of things, both short beards, long beards, mustaches, and there's even a Whiskerina, a female mustache. Do you not have to grow your own for that one?
Wow.
Yeah.
There's enough women that grow. I'm asking this truly. There's enough women that grow that there can be a competition. I mean,
there's enough women that love mustaches that I believe they will have a competition where they will do like.
They love their own mustache?
Yeah, they love their man's mustache or their guy's mustache.
Oh, okay. I can figure that out. Wow, that's very fast. That's some pictures that I probably would like to see.
We'll see. But the question here is, we got to ask the audience, what do we like? Beard? No beard.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to see in your comments later on. We'll finally decide
I'm going to say first of all, your beard looks great. I've had a beard, never that much, but people don't realize how much work is in it when you keep it nice, and because it looks like it's not work, but it's work. He's got it shaped. You have to have the right trimmers. You probably have to have the mustache waxed.
Product. I spend more money on product and oils and things on my beard than I ever did on my hair.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So I think the beard's amazing. How about the itchy part? That's the part that used to get
you. Know what? Once it grows, the itchiness is when it's growing, the hairs are growing through your skin. Once it's there, it's there. And people say, oh, is it hot? I'm like, you know what? No, it's the same.
That's the first thing I would think. Is it hot, like hot?
The only thing is that as it gets longer, like since I like to wear bow ties, you need to find a point of contention on where do you want to show off your bow ties and where do you want the beard to
But it is thinning on a face. Like, so
yes.
I always joke that I've got, I wish I had the camera that could take out the chins.
Oh, I have a really round
face. Cheeks. Yeah. So when I do have a beard, when it's dark, it's great. But since I've gotten a little older, It comes in gray, and I'm not really all about tie-dyeing it or dyeing it, right?
So I feel you. I'm starting to get this.
Yeah, but you have little strands, but mine comes in like full gray, and I look like Santa Claus. Or I would grow it, but people have said, why don't you dye it, Ted? Well, I did that one time, and I looked like that old-fashioned game you played, the magnet guy, where you pulled up his stuff. It's so dark and unnatural looking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just can't do that anymore. My kids were like, Daddy, please do not do that anymore. But it's wonderful that you're able to grow that, and that I can't believe there's a competition for that. So say again what it's raising money for.
It's for the One Heart Women and Children's Foundation. It is this Saturday at the Orlando Brewing. And it's part of the Orlando Facial Hair Club is who's putting it together. There will be, of course, drinking and other fun and activities and just, good old times. And again, it's just it's a way to...
Go Edgar. Hey, Stephanie.
It's just a fun way to raise money and showcase the beauty of the beard.
Now, are you a member of the Orlando Facial Club?
Actually, interestingly enough, I am becoming a member. I'm not a member. I know a lot of the guys. I've hang out with them at a lot of the Orlando City games. But I support their mission, not the Orlando Facial Hair Club. I support their charity work.
I love it. Orlando Facial. I mean, I guess that's better than the Orlando Top of the Hair Club.
There you go.
Yeah. No, I think it's so much better to have a facial hair club. Although I am still fascinated and can't get off the fact that a woman would try to grow a mustache. I'm fascinated by that. And I'm not giving those women a hard time. It's such an interesting thing to think about. Most of the time women are doing everything they can to rip it off and have it removed and lasered off. So for somebody to actually grow that, I mean, it's kind of fascinating. All right, so talk then about, we also have Take a Gamble on Life, right? Or Take a Gamble. So give us a little history, because obviously that's in your bio. You've done a lot of things, and you're doing a lot of things. So a lot of times that people want to hear, what's your philosophy on business? What's your philosophy of doing business with other people? Your philosophy of giving back to the community, which you've talked a little bit about during the show. But kind of give them an idea of what that meant. Because you came up with that.
Yeah.
Which I love.
So it's something that I thought, about. I started my business. I was in a good career, making good money, as a manager, doing my stuff, with a path. But I wanted to do something on my own. I wanted to be able to make my own choices and then be able to help the people that I wanted. So that's where the whole Take a Gamble, I just quit. I started the, Aces Wild. That took a good year and a half for it to, really take off.
So expand on that, because what we talk about a lot with people is we want to encourage them to take a leap, because at some point you either take a leap or you're dead. I mean, you can't just go your whole life going, I'm going to do it.
So it's going to suck. It's going to suck.
I love the honesty.
Yeah. It's going to suck. I will tell you straight out. It was already a failing marriage, but it cost me, a marriage. I had, we went through a divorce and everything else. And it'll really test you. It'll really test what is it that you're trying to do. If your vision really concrete, is it something that you actually want to continue to do? Because at times we just want to do our own thing, Right. And then you realize that your own thing means that you are the person that makes every choice, from marketing to budgets to whether you eat tonight or, you put that extra $10 in the Facebook ad type of thing, right. It does pay off. But it's one of those things. It's kind of like working out. If you ever been, I've always been a fat kid, and working out, like I work out and I don't see an end to it, because the successes are incremental. They're very, very small.
Absolutely.
So you don't see the big picture until you actually look back and you're like, wow, I look back still 5 years from now, I'm like, wow, I've started with a couple casino tables, putting them on Craigslist, renting them to people. And those 5 tables are still in rotation, right now. They've been, of course, being revamped and all that. But just with that, I've been able to, have a life, a career, a job.
See, that's awesome.
End up on the TED Show.
That is the penultimate experience right there. Emmy award-winning TED Show. But talk about that leap, though, because you said it sucked, and it's very difficult when you make the leap. Did you have a plan? Did you just say, okay, this is my idea. I want to do something with casinos. I want to do something with dealing. Did you come up with a plan before you quit your job? How did that? Because people don't know what to do. They don't know when it's okay to take the step.
Yeah. So I will tell you, I'm joking around. Aces Wild has been around for 5 years. 5 that the government knows about it, 8 that the government doesn't know about it. There's 3 years of knowing, you sitting out of your garage, running it, you still have your job, your second job, or you're still doing something, but you're testing it out. You're testing the market, Companies have millions of dollars to do market testing and check things out and, see if something works or not.
Right.
You might not. You might have the, extra 3 hours at night that you have when, the kids go to sleep type of stuff. So that, take your time, really work it out, test the market, create a website, get your domain, get a good Facebook, understand everything that you can. While a year and a half into the business, I decided to get a master's in business. Not because I wanted to run every part of my company, because I wanted to understand every part of the company.
Sure.
So like right now I have people that are running marketing and websites and other things for me, but when they present me the idea, I can then really edit and know what they're talking about and have good feedback rather than just, oh yeah, that looks great,
Right.
You actually know what is the inner workings. You might you might not be the best cook, but you know that these 5 ingredients should be in there, in that sense. So
I love that, and I think what a lot of people do, we talk about on the show. One of the biggest questions I always get after shows is, I've got this idea. I love what your guest said. I want to take the leap, and my first question always back to them is, okay, do you have money in the bank? Just because. Or where's your health insurance going to come from? Just silly, stupid stuff that you really do have to think about, but that shouldn't be a deterrent from it. You just have to plan a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Keep the job and start it on the side, and then when you have it built up, like Edgar said, then make the leap. But if you have no money in the bank and you're not going to be able to pay your health insurance and you don't know how you're going to pay your mortgage or your rent, probably making that leap without some sort of idea of how that's all going to take place is super important. Business planning, and Rupert Megnot's a friend of mine, and we've been working on this show, and I promise you it's going to come back, on business planning, because I think it's so important to at least have an idea of your why. Why are you doing this? Do you just have this basic idea and you think you can do it? If you've done no research, if you don't understand your market well enough, your competitors well enough, a lot of research has to go into it. I mean, there's taking a leap of faith, but you have to have some sort of safety net somewhere, or you're going to be back at that old job, or consider yourself a failure, or the business is never going to get off the ground because you don't have the resources to do it.
It's true. A lot of times, something to add to that is a lot of times people see the business plan where they started with, where does my business start, my marketing, everything else. There's a whole pre-business plan, which is you talk to your family, your friends, your significant other, whoever that might be, and yourself. You really do need to kind of have a good plan, knowing, like I said, from basic needs to emotional support at times.
Correct.
Even I had a life coach. It's just somebody that you pay money to and you just go bitch at them. That's it. And then you.
I'm one of those. Yeah. And I love to be bitched at, because where else are you going to get that venting out? Sometimes you can't talk to family about it. They know the basics, but you need somebody that you can vent to and talk to that's really got your back, but also has real life experiences, real business experiences. And so I think having a coach is just incredibly important. It's actually one of my favorite things that I do, honestly. All right, so we're going to share all of Edgar's...
David, I know.
David, hey, David.
Stylish and smart.
I love it. Stylish and smart. You are. You're very stylish.
Oh, thank you.
But lots of comments, and we'll get to those. Edgar will follow up, I promise. So we're going to share the information about Saturday's event. We're going to share how to reach out to Edgar for the casino, for Aces Wild. Wild. I love your business card, too. Look,
if you've never seen my business cards,
they're awesome.
My business cards are all playing cards, right?
Awesome?
And then the back of them, this is for the kids, for nowadays. You can snap me. We snap all of our events. You can Snapchat all our events. You can hang out.
I have not. That's the one social media I am desperately trying to figure out. My kids are begging me, and my kids are all adults, begging me not to get on it. I tried one of the filters once just because it was funny. I did not post it on Facebook. But I sent it to them. They're like, seriously, delete. But I know that it's a powerful medium. It's a powerful platform. And good for business.
It is. And think about also, talking about this whole leap of faith and everything else for people, think about how different ways that you can, in unique ways that you can market your services, or that you can also create revenue and income. For me, for example, I'm already creating content by throwing a party. Ted's, doing things. So why not record it and share it to people, which it'll be a marketing tool. You're not making money out of this, but it's a marketing tool.
100%.
Yeah, so
it's not that hard. Look, if I can do it, people, if I can push the blue button in the beginning and the finish button at the end, and this is, people will come and actually see the show, or come to the show and watch for the first time, or be a guest, and they're looking around for the equipment, the lighting, the person who does my makeup. It's hilarious. If you see it, I swear to God, it's me, my iPhone, and a camera stand. You can't make it up. That's how easy it is. But a lot of people are afraid of it. They're afraid of the live part. I personally love that. But what Edgar's saying is, there are mediums to help you, mediums that we didn't have even 10 years ago, that can actually help your business and grow your business. And you should not be afraid of those. You should venture out a little bit. Ida says she can testify to that. Absolutely, right? All right, so any other parting words of wisdom for them before we head out on this wonderful Thursday?
I will tell you the same. I tell this quote I still work with students. My passion of teaching environmental science is still there. That's for our show 2 later on. But the same thing that I tell my kids. For in the end, you will conserve what you love what you understand, and you understand what you were taught. And at the end of the day, always learning something new, whether you watch a new Facebook Live video, or you watch a new TED Talk, or you read a book, always keep up. Don't stay stagnant.
Don't say. I did the presentation I did last night for Disrupt HR. One of the slides was stop hanging around still people, still broke, still complaining, still going nowhere. Because if you're hanging around that, and you're still means exactly that. You're not making any progress. And it's so important to know who you're surrounding yourself with, because those people really are a reflection of where you're going. Yeah. So if everybody around you is broke and complaining and still in the job they hate, or telling you how horrible your ideas are, you need to find a new group of people. My opinion and what I presented on last night.
And as Ida said, I can testify to that.
Absolutely. All right. You've been a joy, my friend. Thank you so much for coming. Thanks for being flexible this week. I'm feeling much, much better after Tuesday's insanity. So we're going to give all of Edgar's information when we post the show. And you're awesome. And come out and support him on Saturday for the Mustache Beard Show.
Mr. Whisker. At Orlando Brewing.
I mean, you can't make Mr. Whiskers up.
Yes.
And Kay Rollins is one of my favorite people on the planet, so I'm very excited that she's going to be there. We love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting the show. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care.
See you later.